What's up, everybody? Alex back, and today we're going to be talking about Sports Card Investing 101, how to get started in sports card investing. So let's get started. Do your research because it is so incredibly important that you do so. If you don't know what you're getting into, you are not going to have any success because there are so many resources out there at your disposal. You really have to go to Baseball Reference, Basketball Reference. Any sport has a reference page. You can dig into the numbers, and depending upon who it is, you can really dig into what kind of player they are and what kind of person they are. Check out their Twitter. Those things matter. Personal lives do matter. How swaggy somebody is. If somebody's really in front of the camera all the time, like someone like a Cam Newton or LeBron James, they are not only sports athletes, but they are just moguls and they are brands all in their own. So do your research on the players. Please do yourself a favor. Do me a favor in trying to help you, and do your research on each and every single player you plan on investing, which brings us to the second thing you need to really focus on. Diversify who you're going to be investing in. If you're investing in multiple sports, you have to really hone in on, I would say, between 5 and 10 players to start, and then you can go from there. But the thing is, if you start with one player, say you went all in on Zion Williamson, say you have $300 to invest in, and you put all $300 in Zion Williamson. If when basketball comes back later this year and he hurts his leg again and he's out, his prices are going to tank. Please diversify. You should be investing in multiple players in whatever sports you're interested in. Which brings us to my next topic. Invest in what you know. Invest in what you like. If you're not a fan of hockey, don't go out and buy the young guns. Don't go out and purchase the hot rookies in those sports. If you're a baseball fan and don't really prefer football at all, don't put money into those sports because you're not going to know what you're doing unless you do a lot of research, which takes us back to that first point. But please invest in what you like and what you know. The next thing you have to do after you've decided on your 5 to 10 players is keep a spreadsheet on who you're buying, not only just to know, but also to keep track of what and how much money you're spending on each. So each time you get a card in the mail, go back through your eBay account or your PayPal history and check and see how much money you spent. Put it in your Google Doc. Has a great system for that. Google Docs is free, so it's a great system to keep track of all of your purchase history. Keep track of what you're keeping your money in, and it'll go a long way. That way, whenever you go to sell it, you're not guessing. It's pretty simple, but a lot of people don't keep track and then just lose money. And we're not here to lose money. We're here to make money. So which brings me to my next thing. You don't want to be investing in cards that aren't either relics, autographs, or rookies, because the cards just don't really ever gain value. You might buy a LeBron James as a Laker and super excited. Maybe you got it for $2 or $3 or whatever the case may be. But in 2 or 3 years, guess what? That price is still going to be the same. Now, over 15, 20 years, as time goes on, that card will slowly find an uptick. But typically, you're going to want to focus on rookies and prospects. They have cards of players that have never seen an MLB game. And those cards, the Bowman Firsts, can be a ridiculous investment. So you want to focus on rookie cards. And that's why a LeBron James rookie card is to $3,000 and his third-year card is $5. So you really do want to focus on the rookies. One right now that I've been keeping tabs on is Wander Franco. Basically, think Mike Trout. He's the next hot thing in baseball. He's the number 1 rated prospect in the MLB. But it can be a high risk. It can absolutely be a high risk. That leads me into my next thing. There are high-risk players, such as Wander Franco, such as other players that are unproven, probably rookies, or very, very, very minimal playing time in whatever sport they play. So those are the rookies, those are the prospects. So Wander Franco, Kobe White is somebody who's been trending a lot recently. Ja Morant, looking to be a good player, but still in his rookie season, it could go downhill. He could get injured. Obviously, anything could happen. So those are your high-risk players. Those are the players that haven't proven themselves and are probably either rookies or haven't even made it into the league yet. And then your medium-risk players. So these are going to be the players that are in maybe their second, maybe even third year in the league. So these are people like Luka Doncic is a perfect example. His prices recently have been skyrocketing. The prisms have been going nuts, and now it's trickling down even to the optic. So the optic, obviously, if you're coming into this not knowing really a whole lot about sports cards, optic is kind of the second tier to prism. And prism is like basically the best type in basketball that you could get. But if you want to invest in the medium tier, then go for it. They're a safe bet, and they're very easy to flip if things work out in your favor. But keep in mind, they're medium risk. If an injury occurs that ends their season, you're going to see a price drop. Hopefully this doesn't happen, but if they have a career-ending injury, I mean, that's it. You know, Luka Doncic has a great trajectory and is looking to be a Hall of Fame caliber player. But if he had a career-ending injury in his next game, his prices would drop like a rock. And grand scheme of thing, he would be lost in the history books. He wouldn't be remembered. So keep that in mind when investing in your medium risk cards. And then the low risk cards. So these ones are very, very easy to make money on. There are only two downsides to low risk. Typically, it takes a very long time to get a return on your investment because these are the LeBron Jameses. These are the Wayne Gretzky's. These are Michael Jordan. They're going up slowly but surely. So that is one negative about them. They slowly grow. They're not going to be, a buy it and flip it in 2 months. That's just not going to happen on these cards. They're going up, $30 every several months. But there's no way that they can go down. You will never see a Michael Jordan card for less than it is today tomorrow, generally speaking. Obviously, if the stock market crashes, then all bets are off. So another downside to high-risk cards are they are extremely, and I mean extremely expensive. A LeBron James rookie card will cost you no less than $300, which this one, about $300. The Bowman, $300. So keep that in mind whenever you're buying low-risk cards. Going to make a bunch of profit on it eventually. I'm talking 15, 20, 30 years down the road. It will just be worth a lot more. Much more safe investment, but it's going to take a longer time to get there. So moving on, I wanted to talk about percentages. This is something a lot of people don't really consider when they're investing in sports cards. And it kind of comes with another thing, too, that I wanted to talk about. Percentages, and then not only percentage of profit, but percentage of people that are willing to buy the card. If you buy a $500 card and sell it for $700, that's great. You made $200. However, if you would have invested that $500 in a bunch of $10 cards and they doubled, you'd be making more money. You'd be making a lot more money. So that is one thing to keep in mind. And that $20 card that you initially invested in, you're going to find a lot more buyers than that one $700. So keep that in mind whenever you're buying cards, especially whenever you're buying expensive cards, because you can sell a $20 card to a card collector all day of the week. If somebody is looking for a Juan Soto rookie card, about $20, $25, there are a million buyers for that card. Somebody who's looking for the autograph Bowman Chrome 1 of 1, there's going to be one person out there that wants to buy that card. You have to get extremely lucky to find that one person. The next thing I wanted to talk about, ways to sell and buy cards. Obviously, eBay's there. That is a great resource for everyone. It's an open market, open auction house. You can buy and sell. Now, another way you could go is Facebook groups. Facebook groups are great. You don't have to deal with the middleman of eBay, so no seller fees, and typically you're dealing with PayPal, So there is a little bit of a hit whenever you're selling. But from a buyer standpoint, there's no downside. And typically on Facebook, from what I've seen, is most people are willing to get rid of their cards for a little bit cheaper just to make sure that they can get them out the door. So Facebook is a great way. Another thing that is really up and coming, and this is pretty new, is Discords. If you don't know what Discord is an application that you can download on your phone. And it basically serves as a miniature server, and you can have different channels in there, and there's a lot of different sports cards Discords out there. So that's a couple ways you could sell your cards. There's a couple of websites, of course, that you could use and sell directly. There's some consignment websites and stuff like that. But basically, eBay, Facebook, Discord is what I would go by. The pros to eBay, obviously, probably the safest way to buy and sell on the internet, but it does come down with you're dealing with a middleman, so not so great. Facebook groups, no middleman, all profit. However, you do have that risk of somebody being scummy. Granted, you have that risk anywhere, right? You have that risk on eBay. Somebody could scam you, and you just never get your money back, or you never receive the card. But usually eBay's pretty good about that. With Facebook, the worst that could probably happen to a scammer is they get kicked out of the group. So not great, not great. They could also get blackballed by a bunch of Facebook groups, but eventually they're going to find a way to sell cards. And then with Discord personally is excellent because if you're in a huge sports card Discord, they can break up different sports and different things. It's really amazing. If you haven't ever checked out Discord, you definitely should. The next thing I wanted to talk about was deciding whether you wanted to be quick flipper, so buying for real low, buying maybe some risky picks, but flipping it whenever they do make it to the bigs or they have that breakout game. You know, if a rookie comes out in the NBA and then drops 60 in a game like Devin Booker did, his price of his card is going to go through the roof. Just like in baseball, if a player like Ronald Acuna Jr. comes out and lives up to the hype and crushes it in the MLB, his price is going through the roof, just like it is currently. $3,000 bat down, Ronald Acuna Jr. rookie. It's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of money to be made in a short amount of time, but the risk obviously is much higher. Now, long term, you're going with much lower. You're going with LeBron. You're going with MJ. You're going with Gretzky. These cards, much safer options, but you really do have to decide what kind of card investor, card collector you want to be. Do you want to be a flipper? Do you want to be a long-term investor? A lot of people, and this is kind of what I'm trying to do, is make quick flips. So kind of take high-risk cards. Austin Meadows is a guy that I'm really in on. Bo Bichette is another player in baseball that I'm in on. You know, you can buy these cards for $1 to $4 a piece, and then if it ends up working out and they become all-stars and they have great seasons, you can flip it in 2-3 months even. You can really position yourself to invest in the low $1 to $2, $3, $10 cards and then flip them for double, triple, quadruple, 10 times their money, even a couple of weeks later, and then invest in the LeBrons and the Jordans and the Kobes and all those legends whose prices will never drop. So that's really up to you. And that's one of the beautiful things about sports card collecting and investing. And the next thing I want to talk about is staying disciplined. Staying disciplined. This is very important, and I'll talk about it later a little bit too. But stay disciplined. If you have a player in your Google Doc that you know you want to invest in, make sure you set up max prices that you're willing to pay for them. Obviously, do your market research. Check out periodically. You can do it nightly or you can do it weekly. But check out how much this player is selling for, and then you set in your own budget how much you're willing to spend on each player. And don't get into the situation where you're late night bidding on a card and you're like overwhelmed by the fact that people will start coming in late and snipe the deal away from you, and you end up bumping a card up that you said you'd only pay $20 for, and you end up paying $30, $40 for, and then, oh no, you're in on this card that should have been bought at 20, expecting it to go up to 40. Now you're in at 40 and there's no profit to be made. So just make sure that you stay disciplined. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about before I leave you today, it's probably the most important. Buy low, sell high. I know it sounds so silly, but it is so important and very easy to not follow this simple rule, because you'll be on eBay, and I guarantee this will happen to you. You have to be disciplined, but you'll be on eBay. You'll have been watching a player or a card for 6 days, and it's super low, and then it comes to the day of the sale, and all of a sudden, it's 10, maybe 15, maybe a minute left in the bidding, and it starts popping, and it goes above what you originally wanted to play with. And you have to be disciplined. Do not overspend. It can happen to the best of us. It has happened to the best of us. So really, really keep within your budget, because you don't want to buy high and sell low. That's the worst feeling, obviously, in this. And it's going to happen. You're going to miss out on cards. You're going to hit a spec and it's not going to pan out. But as long as you can, like I said earlier, diversify and buy low, sell high, invest in your rookies, do your research on the players, you're going to be successful. Just follow these simple tips and you'll have success in investing, whether you want to be short-term or long-term. You can do it. That's it. That's all I've got for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to smash that like button if you've enjoyed this video, because it tells YouTube, it tells the algorithm that people enjoy it and that people really do find value in my content. Make sure to check out all the videos up there and all the cards, and make sure to subscribe. Until next time, keep cracking packs, keep collecting, and I will see you again.